When all the feeder cables are properly fastened a couple of meters down the tower, it is time to connect feeders to antennas by means of short, flexible jumper cables. Begin by attaching the jumper cables to the antenna connectors with reference to the cable markings. There are many faults caused by jumper and feeder connections. This type of fault is very hard to find since it requires climbing and even resealing connections to rectify the fault. So be very careful when connecting cables. In our installation here, we are using a cold shrink system for weatherproofing the connectors. Cold shrink weatherproofing is a pre-stretched rubber tube on a collapsible former. This tube must be threaded over the cable before connectors are fitted. Cleats are also used to secure jumper cables. It is important that the jumper cables are properly supported about every half meter or so, otherwise the connections can be subjected to stress over a period of time. Antenna connectors are to be tightened properly using a torque wrench. 7/16 connectors we use are normally tightened to 25 Newton meters, but you should check the installation engineering documents to confirm this before you do the installation. When the antenna connections are complete, you can continue and prepare the feeder cables in exactly the same manner. Cold shrink weatherproofing tubes must be passed over the ends of cables before they are finally connected. They cannot be fitted after the cables have been connected. Notice also that there's a plastic cap over the connector itself. Leave that in position until you actually require to connect the feeder cable to the jumper. This would be done in a dry atmosphere, that is to say there's no rain or we are protected from the weather. Ensure we don't get any moisture into the connector. Once again, be very careful to ensure that you have the correct jumper cable fitted to the correct feeder cable. You must tighten all connectors well. You will need to have the correct tools with you when working at height. And these are usually tightened to 25 Newton meters. Again, you should check the installation documents to confirm this. It is worth mentioning that weatherproofing is difficult to remove, so this stage should be done only after the antenna system tests have been completed. In the unlikely event of a fault, then seals will have to be removed, and that may not be so easy if they have been installed properly.